Call the meeting to order. This is the Pageland Planning Commission monthly meeting for November 28, 2023. We do have a quorum with 4 of us here. First item on the agenda for today is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as we have it? Motion by Ms. Evans.
Second.
Second by Mr. Dale. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for question. All those in favor of approving today's agenda, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Thank you. Next item is the approval of the October 2023 meeting minutes. Everybody received a copy of those by email. Is there a motion to approve those?
I move to approve.
Got a motion by Mr. Dale to approve, second by Ms. Evans. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for question. All those in favor of approving the October 2023 meeting notes, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous. That moves us over to public comments. Don't have anybody from the public here, so we'll dispense with that. Commission items. At our last meeting, we tabled the item for the final plat review for Eagles Crest subdivision. So that's back up for consideration. Is there a motion regarding that final plat review to move forward?
Well, to move forward, what are we talking about?
Approved it.
What were we waiting on? Well, let me go back and refresh on why we tabled it.
I was not here, but I did have a couple questions.
Okay.
I reviewed the minutes of the meeting, and I was curious, did we find out, the original was 36 homes, the ones that we're approving now is 44 homes, correct? Did we find out if they were going to pay the impact fees in protest? Or are they going to
Whether they'll pay them under protest or not, I don't know the answer to that. That's the option for anybody.
That really wouldn't be in our purview. We just have to either approve their final plat review or not. And was there any reason, anything outstanding why we wouldn't need to approve their final plat review from your dealings with the developer?
They still owe us a little work on fire hydrants, but they've been cooperative in doing what they should do. Generally, overall, for Mr. Dale's benefit, Shane might want to elaborate on, this is not phase 2, it's like 1.2 of phase 2.
Right.
Shane, is that accurate?
I would say phase 1.
So it's phase 1,
Yeah,
but it's the second part of phase 1.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way to state it.
First 36.
Phase 1, plat 2,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct?
is that?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
So the only thing the only question we really had was, Mr. Rivers had asked if there was a timetable on the legal process, and I think you were gonna look into.
I did look into that, and I had some conversation with Mr. Rivers, so.
Okay. Well, we didn't have any other outstanding questions, so if we have no reason to hold back, then I'll make a motion to move forward with that.
Okay. Got a motion to approve the final plat review for Eagles Crest subdivision for phase 1, we will call it phase 1 plat 2, which is the 44 homes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dale. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for question. All those in favor of approving the final plat review for Eagles Crest subdivision, raise your right hand. It is unanimous. That moves us into old business. Any updates on fire hydrant installation?
I have had some conversation with Stuart on it and trying to get some of those in there. He's, whenever he gets caught up, because he just finished Crystal, when he gets caught up, he's planning on trying to get rural water in here, not just for rural water, South Carolina rural water. They help us out sometimes
Okay.
and helping him with the installation on that.
Okay. The second item is the amendment of our current zoning ordinance to add definitions and regulations for mixed-use structures. That's kind of gonna be an ongoing process because there is a multitude of volumes of information on that we'll have to take up. But Mr. Barrow with the municipal association was working on some of that for us.
We've looking at some of that with him, and
Fortunately, we don't really have a whole lot of mixed-use development that's imminent to have to deal with that. So that takes us to the third item, which is the bypass overlay draft, and we did receive back, and you have these in your packet of documents.
it came in one day last week while I was off, and so, as I finally got through all my emails today, I realized it, and
So this is what we submitted to the consultant, which is Santee Lynch's.
yeah, Santee Lynch is called.
Santee Lynch is called. They basically took our red lines and changes, which were very, very few, which was the setbacks. All new structures shall be a minimum 90-foot front setback from the bypass. I thought we changed that to keep it at the existing setbacks.
Do me a favor, mark that up, and, because I may have,
Because we said 90 feet was gonna be hard to meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gonna be,
David, if you don't mind, mark one up and send it back to me, and I'll get him to correct that and get it back to y'all, so y'all can review it one more time.
it was the height.
Mhm.
The reason why I said that, with all new structures shall meet 90-foot setback was because you can't meet the minimum 90-foot setback now on lots of the property.
Right.
Auto zone,
Yeah,
Y'all settled on the 60 feet on height, remember?
yeah, 60 feet on height.
Yep.
And that
I
was,
just
those two,
remember I was saying 90 feet for.
And
it was listed in the draft document as 90, and we got to
Well,
look
we
at,
left what we had, didn't we?
well, what we have now is not 90 feet.
no, our setbacks currently is 50 foot on all commercial.
So we need to go back to. That and the height was the only thing in the bypass overlay that we recommended changing from the draft that we were, or the sample that we had to work from. It's covered dumpsters, loading areas, signage. And then there's a separate section on parking, and that's where we discussed the types of parking surfaces, which was a concern, and we took out
Grass Creek.
Grass Creek, yeah, we took out Grass Creek.
Thank goodness.
All on-site parking areas must be graded and drained so as to dispose of all surface water. Acceptable alternative paving materials include decorative concrete, permeable concrete, brick, or similar material with equivalent durability. So that's the alternates. The approved methods are concrete or asphaltic concrete. Parking areas have to be striped. We talked about the parking space widths, that we changed the widths. 10-foot width parking spaces,
Yes, we had talked about that.
and a minimum length of 20 feet.
Those of us who drive pickup trucks appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so Is there any other things glaring that you see on here? I mean, it's what we gave them, other than that setback requirement. We were gonna keep the setbacks with what we had currently on the bypass, because we would be limited, very limited on what could go in the properties on the bypass if we had to go to 90 feet. If we'd have done this 25 years, 30 years ago, you know, it would have been different. Everything that built on the bypass would have to be 90 feet. Y'all want to just review these, and then we'll present them back to Mr. Sly next meeting. I'll give you time to digest it all. If you have any other changes in the, or see anything that did not meet what we discussed. That will take us to other items, which you have two other ordinance packages here, or packets here to look at. One of them is, these are just for information purposes. They're model ordinances. One is on tiny homes or other dwellings 400 square feet or less to review. And the other one is on wireless or broadband equipment.
That's gonna be the 5G repeaters that have to go every so many feet on the new, is what that's.
So, do you want to, I was going to say, do you want to give us a,
So the guy from Santee Lynch's, he sent me the thing for the tiny homes and the stuff for the internet, or the telephone stuff today. Said that they're seeing a lot of that, and thought that it might be something y'all may want to review. Some stuff that you may want to review to push to council because of the stuff that they're seeing in other places. So he sent me some models of what they've done for other places. Now, I will tell you, just glancing through the one for the wireless carriers, we don't have any city-owned light poles. They're all going to be Duke and Lynch's River that are here. So it may not even apply, because other than aesthetically making sure that, you know, they're not sticking out like a sore thumb type of deal.
to make them look like a big sequoia tree?
There you go.
So with this, and I'm looking here, it says, city recognizes that small wireless facilities, including facilities commonly referred to as small cell and distributed antenna systems, are critical to delivering wireless access to advanced technology, broadband, and 911 services to residents, businesses, and schools within the city. So is this gonna, and I guess is how we incorporate it, but if the town takes on a project to, an infrastructure project to put in a distributed antenna system somewhere, is it gonna cover that as well, or would, since it's public safety or municipal government, is it gonna be exempted from that, or will it have to be the same?
Typically, most government-run items are exempt from the regulations. I don't, I mean, give you an example, this building's sitting in what was a residential neighborhood, but according to the zoning ordinance, government buildings are allowed in a residential zoning.
Okay. I just think if we were working on a project that would involve antennas and et cetera, if it was gonna be included.
Right.
I see here's interference with public safety equipment.
So the biggest part about this, and this comes from my 911 days, this is more of the 5G stuff. This, because the 5G stuff has to be every so far and, for them to keep good 5G coverage. So this here more relates to the 5G.
A lot of them, they put up those small monopole antennas.
Mhm.
It's an odd looking, it's just a straight pole with a little bit of graduated width to the top. They're not very tall.
Right.
But we don't have 5G here. It's coming. So we can take that as information to digest, and if we need to recommend something to council, we can. The other one's on tiny homes, so
It more so defines, based on what I've read of it, it more so defines them and says what they should be.
the county had had to define what a tiny home was, I believe, in the building code.
Yeah, the Building Code Council on the state level, all of them have been,
And this one mentions the international.
they've been struggling to keep up with the changes, things are coming so fast, and housing trends and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this one here mentions the 2018 International Residential Code.
And we're
Yeah.
at where are we at, 21?
County has the 21 adopted, I
Yeah.
think.
What do we have?
We have what they have
Yeah.
adopted, so generally.
Okay. Okay. Any questions, discussion on these? And it's just for information's sake at this point. Ms. Evans, any questions?
No questions.
I know at one time there was discussion or talk in the community about somebody building a tiny home community. I don't know where that's going away or if it's on the back burner. That might be something we need to act on a little quicker than we would even one to 5G. They can come down here tomorrow and say, we're gonna start putting up 5G equipment.
Mhm.
So look these over, and when we convene again, we'll put them on the agenda. If you make a note, we'll put them on the agenda for next time to discuss. One thing that, this is November, we'll have one more meeting, I think. We got to figure out a date on that, because it would fall in the 26th. I'm gonna be out of state.
Are you sure town's open that day?
So if we want to move it back a week, we could.
We're working on the 26th now. You're welcome to have your meeting that night.
I won't
We
be
are
here.
working on the 26th, but we are not working on the 26th. We-
You may or may not have a quorum that night. I won't be here. I'll be out of state.
Okay, so that's supposed to be the 26th. So can we back it up to, Tuesday the 19th?
I'm okay with the 19th.
I'm okay with that. I actually had already had it written in my calendar, so I don't think I was gonna suggest it, I guess.
5:30 again. Does that work?
Is that better for you, Jay? Okay.
So, one of the things that I guess we can kind of think that this group will, we may have some additional commission members nominated, moved on to the planning commission by council. But one of the things that I'd like to see us do, and I may not be the chairman next year, it might be Amy, I don't know. But one of the things I would like to see is us review, let's go through the, we kind of started going through we went through the comprehensive plan, kind of section by section, is to review our zoning ordinance. And if there's things in there where we've identified Yeah, I'm just reading through what, I have the electronic version, there's some typos and things like that, that we might need to clean up, or if there's anything else that we need to add, or we need to, I know we don't want to rewrite it.
No, because, and the next rewrite should be 2029.
Okay. So if there's anything that's just glaring that we, like the, changing the, the definition of a multifamily dwelling.
Yep.
That would change some things in the tables. Those are some things that we need to probably take a look at. But if we take it a couple of, maybe a chapter or two at a time, and put that as an agenda item, and just say, okay, we're gonna talk about chapters 1 and 2 in January or February, or, March, we'll do 3 and 4, and it may take us a little while to get through them. But if you can review them ahead of time and say, well, that just doesn't make sense, why is that there, and why is this, if you find some typos or things that are conflicting, I know we've heard that issue before where the language was conflicting, so maybe we can review it, and if there's some changes that we could suggest to make that doesn't completely rewrite the ordinance, if it needs some amendments, I guess is the best thing. But that'd be something to work on for next year.
Where do we stand with Neil, and the county planning commission?
The last word I got on the county planning commission was that they had trouble getting together to meet. And it's just it's not a good situation. So that's the way he described it. He said it's not nearly as organized as the way any individual town operates. So I don't know how successful that's going to be. I hope it's really successful, but I guess we'll just have to see what's in the comprehensive plan when they finish it. Because he said he had not given much opportunity to add value to the plan.
And there wasn't a whole lot to take away either.
No,
So it
wasn't a lot to take away. So,
might not be beneficial.
so we may be back at square one and have to do our own comprehensive plan anyway. We'll just have to see where we are when they get it put together. That's where we are. Hopefully we'll get, Neil won't be back, and we'll need to replace Commission Member Whitaker. So,
David Dale will be doing that after he takes office in January?
I think Whitaker, you're done in District 3, correct?
yeah.
Whitaker is a at-large position.
By the way,
So who appoints that's his seat then?
Any council member.
Okay.
from a timing perspective,
Typically, the mayor will, but if the mayor don't really have nobody they've committed to, any council members can.
from a timing perspective, typically, the administrator over the years has prompted council in the month of January to please get all the committee appointments.
I prompted them in November to say start.
If we don't do it if we do it in January, then we're already a month behind.
Right.
Yeah.
They would, somebody get appointed in February, we already a month in.
Well, trust me, it's time consuming.
I mentioned it during the administrator report in November. It'll be mentioned again in December.
All we do is encourage,
Well,
right?
and typically, when you get to the meat and bones of it, it's like, well, do you have the current list, Mr. Sly, so we could look and see if I have any appointments? You get a lot of that back and forth. I've watched it over the years, 30 years of it.
But the council is already aware that somebody needs to appoint that seat.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It's going to be reiterated again, but yes, they're aware of it.
Staff report, anything? Chief?
Nothing much to add to the value of what you guys just covered.
Only thing I've got, and I think all of you have already done it, but your if you haven't done your continuing ed, Charlie Barano will be here on December the 7th at 3 PM, if somebody
I do
wants.
that twice a year?
No, you only have to do it once, but Board of Zoning Appeals has to do it as well, so they're,
Oh,
uh,
we just did it in June.
yeah. I'm just saying if somebody didn't get it done, then I think yours
Started mine.
is online.
Mine's the big one.
Yeah.
online, yeah.
Okay.
I've got, I'm gonna try to have that done by the end of this year. Yeah, it's
And when you finish, I got some paint that you can come to my house and dry.
Oh, that's
If
spare
you
time
want to
guy.
continue that good time.
He's a spare time kind of guy.
You'll be able to watch the grass grow in the spring, so.
We already discussed the next meeting, that'll be, December 19th at 5:30 PM, same place. Anything else for the good of the planning commission? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
A motion to adjourn, second by Ms. Evans. Any discussion?
But we're standing